Bitcoin saw this big nosedive yesterday, but it's nothing to worry about. It's just a tiny correction. It was like 3%. The price of oil took a little bit of a nosedive yesterday, but nothing compared to the gains that it's had over the past weeks. The euro didn't just decide to jump off the cliff. It decided to jump off the cliff and do a couple of backflips and then keep going even further. The Japanese yen is ready to make its next move up to its next consolidation zone. Where will the Japanese yen stop and how weak will it get against the US dollar? The S&P 500 continues its lovely trend down. When are we going to see this stop? When are we going to see the bottom? And when is it going to reverse to make all-time new highs once again? I'm sure it's not going to be too long. Gold took a bit of a nosedive. Or was it just people taking profits, ready to buy it back up cheap again on Monday morning? Silver yesterday nearly managed to push through those previous all-time peaks, let's call them. But I can see this just going down, taking a breather and then pumping straight through. The crypto fear and greed index is now dropped down to 72. We're on greed. The market's fear and greed index dropped all the way down to 46. So we're on the lower side of neutral now. Are we moving into the fear and extreme fear, or is this just the markets taking a little bit of a breather based upon the geopolitical situation that we have right now? Only time will tell with this. Which season are we in? Well, it looks like we're moving towards a Bitcoin season rather than towards an altcoin season. The altcoins took a massive dive yesterday, and are we going to see any further losses on that? But right now, all we're focusing on is the Bitcoin price. The Bitcoin halving now of 2024 is on 6 days, 20 hours, 27 minutes, and a handful of seconds. What will this bring us? As I said yesterday, is this buy the rumor, sell the news, or is the Bitcoin halving already priced in? Or are we going to see those explosive prices within the next couple of weeks or the next couple of months? Once again, only time will tell. Hello and welcome to this video. My name is David Thorne. You are watching David's videos. It is the 13th of April 2024, currently 1 minute past 9 in the morning, Central European time. Now, if you are new to my channel and this is the first video you've seen, it is David's videos. My name is David Thorne and I make a whole different array of different styles of videos. So just going from programming to talking about my life in Germany, a little bit of YouTube tips and tricks, and obviously talking about the Bitcoin price. So if you do see any of my other videos pop up and they don't start with Bitcoin, I will not be offended if you just scroll by. But if you are interested in learning something new, why don't you check out some of my other videos? But like I said, I won't be insulted if you don't. With that said, if you are interested in looking back at some of the other videos that I've made on this one journey, then come over to the Bitcoin price analysis playlist of 2024 and you can check out all of the videos that I've made every single day, and sometimes I make more than one video per day. Before we get started with the Bitcoin price analysis, I do need to warn you that I am not a financial advisor. I am not a professional trader. I'm literally just a guy sat in front of a monitor, talking to a microphone, talking about the price of Bitcoin going up and down with respect to my own investments, my own portfolio, the money that my wife and me have invested into cryptocurrency. And we are heavily invested into cryptocurrency. And we bought, the last time that we bought any Bitcoin was back in November, December 2021, when it was at one of the highs. And we had a very painful next year when it dropped all the way down. And now we are in very good profits. And I have been taking some profits over the past days when the price has been hitting 65, 66, 67,000 price range. So these videos are designed for me to make a log of what my thoughts were every single day based upon my portfolio. But of course, you are more than welcome to listen in. So if you are new to Bitcoin and you are thinking about investing right now and you really want to know, should I or shouldn't I, just to give you the short version, the really super short version, the answer is no. Right? If you have any other questions or any other reasons where you think, oh, but maybe he didn't say this and he didn't say that, you can bundle up all of your questions and I can answer all of your questions in one go right now? And the answer is no. Don't buy Bitcoin right now. It is overpriced, right? And when you start seeing prices of Bitcoin around like the 48,465 and going lower than this is at the time when you start thinking, maybe, all right? But this line here is the maybe. So if you hear anyone say, oh, David said the price of Bitcoin is good to buy right now, right? For long term, if you are talking about investing your money for 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 20 years, then yes, right now you should dollar cost average in, which means buy a little bit today, a little bit tomorrow, a little bit the next day, and just buy little increments on different intervals, right? And over time you will get a good average. But please do not dump all of your money right into Bitcoin right now just because there was a tiny candlestick going down. I mean, this candlestick is nothing. If we just draw the size of this one correction here right now and put it comparison to that, the price of Bitcoin dumped up and down in the space of next to nothing here. This dump is nothing whatsoever, nothing whatsoever. So please don't be fooled by that. And there will be more than likely another drop to lower prices, okay? But the best thing for you to do is just dollar cost average in, right? Because one day there might be some time where the price drops down to here, right? But if you just keep dollar cost averaging in, and over a few years, you will be in profit, okay? That is for certain. And if all of the people talking about Bitcoin going to 100,000, 300, 400, 500,000 are actually true, or there's any evidence in it, then you will definitely be in profit. So with that now all out the way, and I've given you the short answer, please remember I do this for free. Please remember, I take my own time out to make all these videos for free, okay? And I have to do my research before, and I do the editing. So just do me a favor and just give this video a like. That's the only thing I'm asking for you. I'm not asking for any Patreon or anything like that. I'm literally just asking for a like to show a little bit of feedback, show a little bit of love. And I'm even going to wait for you right now to do it. I'm going to wait. So everyone else is literally waiting for you to like the video. Come on, we're not going to move on until you've done it. So if you've done it right now, very good. Right, with that now all out the way, let's close down the browsers and let's get started as per normal of zooming all the way out and looking at the weekly charts. So let's get started. So looking at the weekly chart, we don't really see much. What we do see is that the price is going sideways. You know, there's nothing new here. So really right now we could say that we could speculate that the price is going to go up, the price is going to continue sideways, and the price is going to go down. Now if we were just going to base our investments on a weekly level, right, then we would assume that the price could come and test 55,872. It could come and test 60,214, and it could also come and test 67,674. So if you are going to make like limit orders and so on to put in, then I would suggest putting them around 56,100 and here, and yeah, and that's basically it. There's not really much to say about the weekly level. Now, if everything does go in completely the wrong direction, and the conflicts and all the geopolitical stuff continues to happen, then we could expect the price to come down to 35,490. We could expect the price to come down to 46,846 approximately. We could expect the price to come down to 23,000, all right? But we are talking about like a black swan event that will turn the whole geopolitical system upside down, and these would be then times really to get into Bitcoin. And if it does come all the way back down to here again, there's going to be lots of people would have lost their money, and there will be lots of people crying about how much they've lost, but this would be the time to really jump in hard. And if it comes even further, then super jump in hard, right? But something has really gone wrong in the world right now if that does happen. So this is the thing, this is the mindset to have, right? Is that you need to be sniping for real lower prices, and right now they are overbought prices. So don't start getting into it now unless you are going to dollar cost average in all the time. So let's now jump into the lower time frames, and on the daily basis we've seen over the past days that the Bitcoin price wants to keep trying testing these upper levels. However, we are seeing that there is some form of resistance on this lower side, where they don't want the price to go down any further. So we could expect for the price to come back up again over the next 6-7 days prior to the Bitcoin halving, and then we could see prices come all the way down once again, or we could see the price of Bitcoin zooming up. Now let's just, for the sake of making some stuff up, if this is the amount of move it does and it comes up to here, then we could expect, if it goes down, for it to come down to say 55,000. And if it comes up this same amount, we could expect the price to come to say 81,000. So this is like the price range that it's just consolidated in. So we would kind of expect, if everyone's bought down here, they would want to see some profits up here. So this could be something. But remember, if it can go up, it can also come down, and we should expect it to come down to 55,000. But I'm literally just drawing lines on the screen here. All right, so that's all I'm doing. So right now, with there's more chance that this goes sideways for the next coming six days. But if you have already bought in, like me, in the past, anything above here is all profits. And I took some good profits yesterday morning when it went up to 66,000 actually as well. I took some good profits up there. And so yeah, I was happy with that. Now, only small amount of profit. Still, the bulk of my Bitcoin is still off exchanges and in my wallet, but I need to make sure that I pay myself because just have to pay yourself. Right, let's move down to the 4-hour market now. I mean, we are literally painting the same picture. We are still going sideways, but can we see any further patterns here? Can we see the likelihood of over the weekend of it going down? Well, what signs do we have, right? The signs that we have is that there is liquidity down here, okay? When I say there's liquidity down here, there's lots of people bought down here, and in order for the price to pump back up, because a red candle shows lots of volume, right? And a purple candle shows a little bit less volume than the red candle. When I say volume, I mean the amount of Bitcoin passed backwards and forwards between people. So some people bought, let's say, 10 Bitcoin, and other people sold 20 Bitcoin. Well, it's a zero-sum transaction. So if one person's buying, the other one's got to be selling, and at the end of it, all of the Bitcoin moved from A to B. So there's zero left over, right? There's nothing left in the middle. There's no waste, let's say. So there was lots of buying down here, but we can see right now that there is also a reasonable amount of selling here on this 4-hour candle, because the price is trying to push up. But we can see there's just as much selling going down, stopping the price from coming through. But a light grey or dark grey candle isn't a huge amount of volume. It's definitely not a blue candle. A blue candle is more volume. Blue candle is the reverse of a purple candle, and a green candle is the reverse of the red candle. So we can see there is some form of selling here right now. But this purple candle showed us that there was huge amounts of there was selling, but there was a huge amount of buying, but the price managed to come all the way down to 61,000, or let's just say 62,000 here, and then the price got pushed all the way back up again, and that was then through the night, or the Asia basically did this. So we could say that there is buying and selling in equal quantities right now, but we'd want to see that at least 50% of this red candle gets filled, right? Because at the moment it's imbalanced. The price went down too fast, so we would expect to see some form of consolidation around this one zone to fill the order book, right? To make it consolidated. And why is this important? Well, because at the moment there was just lots and lots of people selling off, and to make sure that the people agreed upon the price within inside of this zone, and it needs to come backwards and forwards and then move up backwards and forwards and then push through backwards and forwards. So we could see the price of Bitcoin move between this big red candle for a while, and we would expect also the price of Bitcoin to come and fill, because this is a lot of liquidity in here that's stuck inside this candle too, and within inside this candle. So we would expect the price of Bitcoin to in the most boringest manner come and push between this one range. So with that said, let's go down to the hourly time frame, and you can see here that this red candle has had some form of consolidation here with there's lots of volume still. So there's lots of buying and selling, especially this purple candle, lots of selling. And there is a support level down here. There is a support level down here because the buyers managed to push the price back up again. They managed to reverse it. So, but we can see here there is a good amount of selling here once again, as we just previously said. So we would expect to see some consolidation in this one zone. But when we look at the 5, the 8 and the 15 EMAs, we can see that they are kind of converging with one another. So a little bit of consolidation looks like it is on the horizon. I would say it's on the horizon for the whole of Saturday and probably for the most of Sunday, and then we move into Sunday evening where we're going to see some movement either up or down. And I mean, I would assume that we're going to see probably down to see lower prices, I would expect, because I don't think they're done yet. I think up until the halving or until these Asian ETFs come along, I can see we're going to probably make a little bit more lower prices. I might be completely wrong, but yesterday I said we're going to see lower prices, and we did see lower prices. So, but that doesn't mean that Bitcoin is not worth buying or selling. Let's go down to the 30-minute time frame, and we're basically just painting a bigger picture here. This is the type of consolidation that we're talking about. So this red candle here had like huge amounts of movement, and we're seeing this consolidation with inside of the middle, and this is what we want. But the price just zoomed straight back through again. So we saw that although there was some consolidation here, this zone here, right, this zone here is still very illiquid, you know, because the price just jumped straight through it and then jumped straight back. So we need to see some consolidation in this zone here where I'm moving the rectangle box right now. And just like this consolidation up here. So we can see this purple zone is being filled, it's being balanced in the order book. So whether it comes back down again and fills this one zone, we could see that the price just zips straight through this zone again and then comes and fills this zone here. So this is how my mindset works, is that we see these big red candles, big green candles, and you want to see them balanced. And when they are properly balanced, then the price tends to move out of that zone into the next zone that's not been balanced. So let's move down to the 15-minute time scale once again. And now we can see the 5, the 8 and the 15 EMA very, very much converging onto the 50. So now we've got all 4 EMAs converged, and you see the crossover of the 200 under the 300. So the prices are on a long term very much making lower prices right now. So what we don't want to see really is for the 50 EMA to start tanking down again, because if that happens, that means that the 5, the 15 and the 8 EMA have already gone down. So we would want to see the 50 move up again to show higher average prices, and we'd want to see the price break through this 64,000 level and break with strength through it and come and then retest this 65,500, 600 area and retest this. And what we'd want to see from here is we want to see the price come up and to test this, come back down again maybe, and then push through and then come back down and test this zone, right? And do a little bit of consolidation and then push through, come up and then test this. We'd want it to break this one zone here and then come back and test it. But the thing is, what we don't want to see, right, is that if it comes up here and then it tests this zone here, and then it drops back down again and it tests this zone once here, and then it does it again, test this. This would just be showing that the buying is slowly running out, but the selling is staying constant. So if that does happen, we could see the price drop once again, but we could also see the price go up again because if the sellers run out, then the price, and some buyers stay, then the price will zoom up. So that's another thing to think about, all right? But up until now, we need to see the price at least break the 66,600 zone if there's any chance whatsoever of any upwards movement. But we could also say that it needs to really break 65,000, let's say 64,800, if there's any chance of doing this. But as we can see, the 64,000 is a pretty important line anyway to break, all right? Because it's like a psychological level that needs to be broken. But as you look at the chart right now, you can see possible lower prices. So let's go into the 5-minute time frame, and now we can see price is lower than the 50, lower than the 5, the 8, and the 15. And if we see this price, or we see these three EMAs drop beneath the 50, then we naturally are looking at lower or lower average prices, which we would probably expect it to come and test like this support zone here, because this red candle here had lots of volumes. And could we say that this candle was filled? When we look at it, it kind of went straight through. It never consolidated on this red candle. It just pushed through again and went up. So we would want to see some price consolidation on this red candle. And if we do see that, and you could also point out this red candle too hasn't had any consolidation. So we would want the price to come back to there. Now, you know, I don't want to get too deep into why you'd want to see all this stuff, but at the end of the day, you're talking about finances, and finances normally have accountants and so on. So the big market makers that are taking the other side of the trade when there isn't any liquidity in the market, they've got money. If you are buying Bitcoin, and a market maker's got to be selling Bitcoin, and if you are selling Bitcoin and there's no one else in the market, they've got to be buying it. So at one point, the market makers in the market need to balance their books to make sure that any losses are now turned into break even or into profit. So this is why I'm saying these areas are basically the market maker having to take all those trades. So if there's panic selling, the market maker's on the other side of these trades buying it, because that's what their job is to do. So now yeah, this is basically it, but it's another topic to think about. So you have to assume, right, if no one else but the market maker is buying the stuff that you're selling here, then the market maker, so you're selling it, the market maker is buying it, and that means that the market maker is constantly out of profit because it's going down, down, down. So he's taking a loss here the whole time, right? So at one point, in order for him to get back into profit, him or her get back into profit, the market maker needs the price to come back up again, because he's bought here, to be able to sell here once again to put it in profit. So, you know, this could be that the market makers move the price up nice and slowly, right, to then bring it back down again to be in profit, right, because of buying, and then sell it off slowly. So, and this is why you see the prices consolidate, because they've got to offload their losses. They've got to sell whatever Bitcoin they've bought at a profit slowly to make sure they get it all sold in one zone. And that's the same with buying as well. They've got to make sure they buy enough slowly without moving the market. They're a market maker, but they also have enough money to move the markets too. And that's when you see this nice slow movement with low volume. That is just people moving the market very slowly. But when you see lots of volume, then that means that the market makers need to find liquidity in the different zones, and they tend to make liquidity zones as well by looking for stop losses. But that's another video in its entirety. All right, so I think there's no point really going down to the 1 minute market, because we kind of know that, yeah, I'm not going to go that far. This video isn't going that far today. All right, with that said, I just want to zoom out once again to, let's turn this off. I just want to zoom out once again to show you my philosophy when it comes down to trading Bitcoin, because normally it's the philosophy that's of relevance. Now, my philosophy is I'm very much a contrarian, right? And when everyone has fear down the bottom and is selling, and they're like, no, 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 don't do it. This is the time to get into a market when everyone else, and someone else has said, when there's blood on the streets, right? And that goes back to the Battle of Waterloo, etc. And that you should invest in companies when they are selling and there's basically blood on the street. So that goes back to historical events. But up the top, you only know where the top is when you see a correction, when it comes back down again, all right? And there's a trend coming down. So we won't know that that's the top until we start seeing the price come back down. Now, to be a successful trader, and this is the stuff that I've learned from others, all right? And I'm passing my knowledge on that I've learned from other people, because I think it's logical what they said. And this type of stuff that I'm talking about is from Jesse Livermore, his rules of trading. So this is where my philosophy comes from, is that when the trend of the market is going up, then go with the market rather than fight the market, because the market is the master, all right? So if you want to invest in the market, wait until there is a trend of going up, and then get in and then get out, and then get in and get out. If you know the trend, when you see the price come down and the whole of the market is optimistic that it's going to go forward, then get in when the price is low and then sell high. But don't hunt the bottoms and the tops, because that is still speculating, all right? It's still very much speculating. So right now, are we at the top? We don't know. This could pump up here, no problem, right? It could come up here, no problem, because that's what the market seems to want it to do, right? The sentiment of the market is that let's go to 100,000, let's go to 500,000, let's do all of this type of stuff. And especially with the ETFs, the Asian ETFs coming in right now, and with the Bitcoin halving, the sentiment seems to say that it wants to make higher prices. So right now, yes, I have taken profits, but that was profits because I want to know that I've got enough cash to put back in the event that it makes a lower low, right, or a low. But you know, I don't mind if it doesn't make a lower low. Well, I know that my Bitcoin will make higher highs, right? And I will take some more profits out, But ultimately, my money isn't invested into Bitcoin to be able to say in the future, I've got this much Bitcoin. The money is invested into Bitcoin so I can retire and not need the Bitcoin in the future. I'm 45 now, and at 65 I want to be nicely retired, and I want to have a house paid off. I want to make sure any children and so on are well looked after, and I want to make sure I can have a nice life. So I invest right now for the future, and when I can take profits, the only people that make money from Bitcoin are the people that sell Bitcoin. Now, big companies are buying Bitcoin because they want to know that their company can be they can be a successful company for the next 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, and they can pass that wealth down to their children, their grandchildren, etc., etc. So you have to think about it in a different way. As an individual person, you want to invest your money to be able for it to grow. Now, that's why I'm not selling all of my Bitcoin. I will only take the profits off, and I have a set amount of money. When the value of my Bitcoin reaches a specific amount, I take out a specific portion based upon in euros. I take it out and I start selling Bitcoin at a profit, right? And I don't sell it all at once. I make lots and lots of small transactions as the price goes up. And when the price goes back down again, I wait, right? And I wait for it to go back up, and I do some more selling, and in very, very small pieces, all right? Because I want to know that I don't want to sell it all at once. I want to be able to have the opportunity when the market goes up to always be selling. And I never buy, right? Let's go back down to the timelines once again. I never sell on these movements going up, right? I wait for it to consolidate. I give it time to linger, to consolidate. And because you can see here, it moved up in price here, then it consolidated, and there I took some profits. And then we saw it zoom up, and when I saw it consolidate here a little bit, I took some more profits. And then when I saw it starting to go down, a correction coming down, like when we zoom in, when we zoom in here, you see these big green candles, and this shows huge amount of volume going up. Here you see this red candle. This is the correction, and I sold some here, right, because it's a red candle. And then you can see it come down. But I saw blue coming back up again. And now we see the blue candle, but we see that it coming down. So this was the zone. This was the zone where I started selling here, right? And then when it came back down again, I didn't do anything. And I saw it have a red candle, then a blue candle. It went back up again. I'm not doing anything down here, and I just waited for it to consolidate. And this is consolidation. Look here once again. This is when the market goes sideways for a good amount of time. Look, it went sideways for nearly 12 hours. And it went sideways for nearly 12 hours here. So there's enough time always to find the areas where it consolidates. And it consolidated down here as well. Look there. And you could say it consolidated for the whole time. So let's look at what it's doing right now. And during the night, how long was that? That was what? 9:30 at night time. It consolidated for like 5-6 hours there. And we are consolidating once again here. So this is where you can spot the consolidation periods. And this for someone, if someone's buying, that's accumulation period, and if someone's selling, it's a distribution period. So right now I'm not going to be buying or selling anything here, because I'm going to wait for it to come and test some of these areas. And if it does make new highs, let's go to like the 4-hour level, all right? And let's just get rid of these boxes again. If it comes to the 4-hour time frame, for me, I'm looking right now, this is my plan right now. I'm looking for it to break above the 67,500, right? For me to, and I will probably wait for it to hit, say, 71,000 before I move any more Bitcoin off of the exchange, off of the wallet to the exchange, to look at selling some in increments, the same game that we played here above here. Now, if we draw this box here and we say that this is the consolidation zone that it had previously, right? And we start moving this and we say, okay, fine, it had a movement up of this much last time, and we come to here and then we say, all right, fine, last time it made like this movement, and then we move the consolidation box to the top. So we're talking about here like 96,000 would be the top, 78,500 would be the bottom. If this is the next push, and that push was really from the bottom. So just to be fair, let's bring it down to here. Let's bring this to here. And so we would expect like 85,000 and 71,000 to be the bottom. So really to take some money from the wallet and put it in the exchange, to say, okay, I'm only going to start selling at round about the 80,000+ mark, you know, because you would expect for it to make some tops. You would expect for it to make some tops and then come down again and come down again like this, and maybe another one, and here, before it maybe makes a lower low, or before it goes back up again. So we don't know, we can't predict what it's going to do here, but this will be my philosophy, is where is the next zone, where is the next distribution zone that's going to take place. And this could be, right, this could be down here, right? So you could be expecting that they come and start doing some more accumulation down here. So it can go in both directions. Now, this wouldn't be a bad place to do some accumulation. If you've sold Bitcoin at 67,000, to buy it back at 50,000, well, that's a good profit. That's a good amount. So, but that's why I've got this money left over in the event that it does come down to places like this, and it does consolidate down here. I might think about putting some of that profits back into here, ready to take it back out again up here, you know. So anyway, with that said, I think this might have been quite a long video. I hope you've got something out of this one video. I always do, you know, me talking out loud always helps me to express what's going through my head and so on. But please, if you do have any questions, any thoughts, any concerns or whatever, then feel free to put them in the comment section down below. Like I said, please like these videos. You know, it's my time I spend doing this, but I do enjoy doing it as well. With that said, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in tomorrow's video. There won't be another video today. Thank you very much, and bye-bye.